A new season has begun, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about land preparation and what you need to know, what you need to do in order for you to prepare for the season. And for heads up, in this video, I'm going to be talking about preparation in the case that you are planting maize, which is what we are planting today. So there are a lot of methods I've heard of on small land that you can use to prepare for the maize season. The first one is plowing. The second one is just dig the holes where you're going to plant in, and then during the digging, some sort of weeding is done. So both methods work just fine, depending on your capital. And this is something very important, capital, right? You can't enter into any venture in agriculture without enough capital. You need the cash in order for you to pay workers. Right now we have 17 workers digging holes and planting maize. We also utilize the tractor on this 5-acre piece of land in order for them, the workers, to just come in and dig holes and plant. So if you don't have the capital to bring in a tractor, you don't have the capital to get your workers on the land, you're pretty much running a losing battle already. So capital is important. Where you get your capital, that's your own problem. Unfortunately, every location has its own means of funding farmers. So I can't advise on that, but capital is important. The next thing you need to know is what you need when planting. So most people will take shortcuts, use half a bag of fertilizer on 10 acres of land because they see the color of the soils a bit dark, so it must be fertile. That's not the case. Uh, Either you go for soil testing, again, if you have the capital. Alternatively, just follow the instructions on the seed pack. So in our case, we are doing one bag, 50 kilos of NPK per acre, and we are planting Bazooka. Bazooka is one of the most recommended seeds. Apparently, it produces 3 cobs per plant if you put a bag of NPK per acre, and also the weeding and additional care matters. So that's important. Then you also have to consider the constraints of your area. By constraints, I mean, is there theft? Is there labor shortage? If you have a labor shortage like we do, we don't have the labor, which is perfect enough to weed the entire 5 acres. So what we've done is we've used a tractor. We're going technological here. We've used a tractor to plow because hand labor just can't cut it. And we are going to be using hands only for the planting and for spraying. We're going to be spraying herbicides and insecticides and a liquid fertilizer later on. So if you don't have labor, you have to at least have the chemicals. Chemicals work. We used chemicals last season for beans. They worked marvelously. Better, way better. The yields were way better than the area where we used hand weeding, because hands can be destructive when it comes to weeding. I'm trying to find a place where the sun is not so in your face so that the picture quality is good. But yeah, here we go. So herbicides, use your insecticides, use your just make sure you have the capital and the manpower to do the work, and make sure your manpower is not lazy. You have to be there to supervise, like I am now. I'm here, I come in, I check in on them randomly to make sure work is moving, and therefore they've managed to finish the work in 3 days, 5 acres of planting in 3 days, which is fair enough. Fair enough. I expected it. We are ready for it. So tomorrow we go through a regiment of spraying herbicides so that the weeds don't overtake the maize in the beginning. trick I learned, and it works marvelously. The maize doesn't get competition in the beginning, so you could do that too. Uh, any questions you may have, just put them down in the description. Obviously, here in Uganda, we're using Bazooka. In the location where you are, you may have a different uh, seed that you're using. Go for it. NPK is the fertilizer of choice because we consulted with Naseco Seeds, which produces Bazooka, and they told us to utilize NPK, not DAP. So again, no shortcuts. DAP is a cheaper fertilizer, but again, the results, they are cheaper NPKs you could utilize. Right now, we're using Yara, a newish brand on the market, instead of the previous one, which gives us a savings of about 20,000 shillings per bag of fertilizer. We're using obviously 1 bag per acre, so we have 5 bags, which is 100,000 in savings as opposed to using the the known brand. You could do that. Again, they have the same quantities of the chemicals in there, so it's what you want is the chemicals, it's not the branding. I'll give you an update at the end of the season as well to show you what this NPK has done for us. Any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer whatever you have. Any comments or any feedback would also be good. You could also put that in there. I will update you as the day goes, as the season goes, regarding the herbicide we're using for weeding, specifically maize. It's there. It's good to utilize these things if you don't have the capital for labor. Labor can sometimes constrain you, and they charge about between 5 to 10,000 shillings a day per person. So if it takes 3 days and you're using 16 people, you do the math, right? It's not so cheap. So sometimes getting knapsack sprayers, which last multiple seasons, and having people, just 2 or 3 people, just come in and spray the whole garden in 2 days is worth it. So that's it for today. That's my video. If you want, you can see the field plowed behind me. I don't know if you can see the people in the background there. There, yeah, you can see them just behind me working. They working very hard to ensure that we succeed. This is a project that I've challenged everyone who's working for us. We want to produce the best results in this field, better than ever. So let's do it. Good luck with the season, farmers. Keep going, keep strong, do great things, feed the world. Cheers.